Hello.
Oh, what do you want? Hey? You want to go out again? Sorry, everybody, I'll be back in 5. I'm on door duty. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5. Come on! Always, when I go now, you want to be on the camera. Move! I can't stay here. Another space note. I am back. Finally. Monty. It's been a real handful recently. It's a hard work. Must be something in the water. Mate, you do not know the half of what I have been through this weekend. You have no idea. I'm hoping yours was a lot better. Saturday night was the best part of it. Trust me. Friday night and the Great Storm and the book. Fabulous, by the way. Thank you to you and Voodoo for everything that you do. You're absolutely amazing. Creative Media Madness, Another Space Note, and Voodoo. Without them, the magic doesn't happen on this channel. And then Saturday night, of course, Night of the Living Dead night. What a watch stream party that was. Best part of my weekend was spending it with you guys. Honestly, you're so lovely. You have mended a broken heart. Yeah. Monty, it's called Listen to the Song of My Peoples. What can I say? I can't tell you on here because it's obviously, but I'll explain it when I call you later. Well, we've all had a mighty proud moment in our Evolution of Fairy Tales. Thank you to Another Space Nut and Digital Voodoo. We, the channel, we, all of us, all three together, have got over 2,000 hours. Get us! Yes! Result! Oh, I will do. I'll explain everything that's been going on. Woo! Not for the faint-hearted, my love. Please pass on my regards to Mrs. Space Nut. She's an absolute tonic. What a lovely lady. You're a lucky guy. The Night of the Living Dead is doing, how shall we put this, phenomenal. I've never known us do so well. Rust Days. Hello, Rust Days. How are you? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's half term this week. So, try not to throw the laundry on the floor. Hey, I'm good. How about you all? Oh, upright, facing forwards. Did you manage to catch the movie? If you didn't, it's already up, so you can. Night of the Living Dead. We did a watch party on Saturday night, but some people weren't able to get on, so not to worry if you didn't. And it's there in all its glory with so many wonderful surprises in it. If you get a chance and you would like to watch, please do. You might even want to watch it on Halloween. You never know. To be fair, I really ought to have called you this morning, but I didn't know if you'd be awake. Another Space Nut, because I've got the house quiet to myself. Everybody's out, so ooh, a Halloween movie after all. Oh yeah, it happened, Rust. Yeah, it happened all right. And yeah, we did really well with it. It seems everybody had a laugh. Oh yeah, no worry. I hope she's feeling okay. Well, I am going to be rushed off my feet all day. I have oodles here just for this week. Don't know what I'm doing next week yet. Things are confusing at the moment. It would seem that I'm normally incredibly busy. I've normally got work booked up weeks in advance. But I don't know if it's the uncertainty going forwards with the budget that's coming up or what. But as of late, I've found my normal working week is changing. Good, probably for the better. Not so much as in ironing, but more as in creativeness on this channel. It's starting to get a bit of flesh on its bones moving forward, which is wonderful. So we'll just have to wait and see which way around everything goes. But as long as I keep ironing, and as long as I keep doing what I'm doing on here and the two work together, it's fabulous. But yes, I do wonder, in the current mood that the business, not just mine, but business across the United Kingdom, it seems a little apprehensive. It's just observations. Because I work for myself, I tend to see a little bit more in depth and detail. Not that I'm saying working for the public sector, there's anything wrong with it. Absolutely not. If you work in the public sector, thank you very much. You're probably a teacher or a doctor or a nurse, fireman, policeman. You know, you could be any number of those, a civil servant, anything, your service to this country, we thank you very much. Most days, the world is dancing on a dime due to what's going on all over the pond. I do feel that way, Rust. I do. I just see from the cold face what it's like, you know, and I'm just a teeny weeny little business, and I look and I see so many people struggling, and I honestly, I do not know how some days you folks put one foot in front of the other and get where you're going. I just want you to know that you're not alone. And I feel exactly the same way. It feels surreal, like I'm living in a parallel universe, watching myself iron and wondering what the heck is going on. Do you know, sometimes I just wish there could be a zombie apocalypse and then I'd know what I were dealing with. Confidence precedes speculation, and folk don't have any, so the latter happens less. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. People are being very cautious at the moment. And cautious people don't spend money, and if money velocity slows down, we end up with a recession, if we're very unlucky, an economic depression. Boy, am I cheerful today. What we need is confidence. How do we get confidence? Keynesian economics. Would that work? Do we need a massive infrastructure program happening in this country? For every £10 that the government would spend, I would dearly hope at least £5 goes back into your pocket. You know, a bit like how it was when HS3, oh, you know, at this point, I'd be happy if we built a rocket to the moon. Or at least to get to Atlas, the asteroid that's on its way through. Just so I can have a gander and see what it's all about. The northern branch. Yes. No, I'd settle for a rocket to the moon at this point. Can you imagine us going all the way to the moon? It'd be like, hey up, if we see any of the aliens. Alan, how you doing? Yeah, but employ zombies to build it for cheap labour and better delivery. Oh, that's it. Zomboff rockets. Go to the moon, Yorkshire style. Refreshments on board. Yorkshire tea, crumpets, and cheese. Grommet. Yeah, they won't need a zombie union now, would they? Oh, that reminds me, Rust, have you checked out ZTV? What did you think? If you have, if you managed to see it. Jimmy Carr should be worried about Mr. Carcass. The zombie version has more depth. He flipping does. You're not kidding. Right? I can see him. Yeah. I'd pay money to go out and see him. Yeah, definitely. Zomic. There could be a Zombie Con instead of a Comic Con. Zombie Con. Or we could have a Zomedy Club. I'm really glad you like the ZTV anyway. A lot of effort and energy went into that, and it has been an absolute blast. It's been the funniest thing that we've ever undertaken. Really has. I mean, it just brought out our sense of humour for a start, and of course it couldn't have happened without creative media madness. It really couldn't. Another Space Nut and Digital Voodoo, between them, have created an absolute masterpiece, and I'm so proud of them. Their effort and energy going into making that happen was tremendous. And of course, Night of the Living Dead would never have happened without either of them either. So yeah, that makes English. They've been absolute blast to work with. They've been so funny. The UZ, the United Zombies World Organization to deal with international zombie affairs. Yeah. Yes. Zomcom, that's it. Yeah. Well, you know, Zomboff would not have been created had my daughter not thrown gravy all over her jumper. Long story, but it happened 2 weeks ago on Friday, right, when the story of The Jar by Ray Bradbury went out that night. We were having dinner and she threw gravy down her favourite Mickey Mouse jumper, and it had a transfer of Mickey Mouse and Pluto on the front. And she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, Mum, how am I going to get this? Can you get this out?" And how am I going to get it out? Is, can you get this out? And I'm looking at the jumper, and I mean, honestly, it looked as though she'd taken the Bisto kid outside and given him 5 of the best. She, straight down. It is always an imitation. It is. So there she was, covered in it. There were more on her than there actually probably was in the gravy jug. How? I have no idea. But obviously I had to sort something out. So I ran downstairs to the utility room. I looked in my bag of tricks in my cupboard to see what I had to remove it. And I had some Dr. Beckman's stain remover for sauces and gravy. And there I am, throwing it on the jumper like holy water, saying, "The power of Christ compels you. Be gone, stain demon. Be gone, unclean thing." It didn't work, really. I tried. It sort of started moving it, but it kind of wasn't strong enough. So, and I do not recommend that anybody does this at all. You never mix products, but I did. And I got some Vanish and I threw that on, you know, like, "Power of Christ compels you. Get off the jumper. Off, you know, covered it. Threw it in the washing machine. There was that many bubbles. It looked like the washing machine had flipping rabies, you know. Anyway, half an hour later, pull the jumper out, not a bean, nothing on it. Transfer, absolutely fine, completely stain free, no gravy on it, nothing. I was way happier than I should have been, and I can honestly say I think that's because I combined 2 cleaning agents together, and it had an effect on my brain, and Zomboff was born. And that's where the Zomboff washing powder comes in. 1 scoop and the guts are gone, because it looked like she'd got guts all the way down her jumper, and like she'd properly been in a flipping zombie fight, which was hysterical. And there you go. So if my daughter hadn't thrown gravy down herself, we'd have never have created Zomboff. Yeah, I know. And like I said, I was way happier than I should have been. And I can only assume that the hallucinogenics from all the fumes on the cleaning products addled something in my brain and made me dream up Zomboff. Weirdly. So there you go, kids. When you're having a rough day, just mix your cleaning products together. Don't do that at home. And that, my darlings, is how it happened. So you heard it here first. Right, I'm just going to get some hangers. I'm fed up with trying to bend my arm all the time. It hurts. So anyway, I played around with a few ideas, and then on Sunday we launched. 2 weeks later, we've got Zomboff TV, Zomboff Creations, Zomboff Everything, and it's just been an absolute joy to create. It really has. Our little universe with all our little zombies in it. And it's just our sense of humour. We're a bit weird. We're a bit wacky here. Like, it must be something in the Yorkshire water. And what can we say? Yorkshire water, one drink and our brains were gone. But it's been fun to create, and especially with the backdrop of everything else that's happening across the United Kingdom. Goodness me, don't we deserve a little bit of a laugh? Having a sense of humour can get you through some of your most darkest moments, even if your humour happens to be quite dark. Did you see my latest creation this morning? Feelenstein? Meowie Shelley? My take on Frankenstein? I don't know if you've seen it. And there's also Bram Stoker's, or Bram meowing Catula. I think when I was born, something happened and I was dropped on my head, because I do not sometimes act like a normal human being. And I can only explain it through my humour. Yeah, Bram Stroke. See, why did I not think of that? You know, you're a genius. Thank you. We're just going to tweak the catula to Bram Stoker. love that. That's peak my humour. Well, I think we're going to be standing here for the duration of the day. But I will be getting more cat TV out your way. I hope you join in for cat flicks or pet flicks or whatever it is that we're going to call it in the end. It's all part of the Zomboff Corporation, but these involve cats rather than zombies. Oh, could it be that they are zombie cats? Who knows? You'll have to watch this space, because I'm in a creative mode at the moment and anything and everything is coming out. I didn't. I said Bram Stoker. I read it. I loved it. That's my sense of humour, lad. Thank you. Replacement line for your version of The Exorcist. Well, Further up. It didn't come up. Whatever you sent must have been pulled. Your whatever. There was a message that came through, but YouTube pulled it. So whether or not you'd sent me something, I don't know, but I couldn't read it. Sometimes that happens. It's no offense, but I just sometimes when they pull things, I can't see it. It might have just been a bit too much for them. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, it might be misunderstanding, definitely. It does a lot of that. I have had quite the weekend with them. Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? Oh, right. Well, it might not have let that through at all. Especially as I sometimes have children on here. Well, in fact, I have. Even though it says not for children, they still manage to get through. How does that? I don't understand. You know, I do my part of the bargain. I make sure it's not for kids. But for some reason, YouTube still lets them through. Strangely. That's a nice shirt. Very on trend. Oh, wrong bag. Right bag. Need to go in the right bag. Anyway, we are doing many creative, wonderful things coming forwards into the Christmas holidays, because we've been doing the 31 days of horror, and every single day I've been doing something to do with horror. And I've just had an absolute blast this month. It has been so much fun. Another Space Note and Digital Voodoo have so much talent. It's unreal. They have created a zombie metaverse, ZTV. They've put together and brought out Night of the Living Dead, our version, and we've had Monty and Dexter mini movie moments, horror mashups, you name it, we've done it. We've had a laugh. It's just been the best. And we've still got a week to go, and my goodness me, everybody, have we got some surprises lined up for you this week. If you thought the last 3 weeks were interesting, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, wait till you see what we've got for you this week. Oh yes. Don't go anywhere other than our channel. You will not be disappointed. And I put an order in for my sweeties for the children. Yay! Because I no doubt we'll get absolutely loads of kiddos down here Friday night. Can't wait. Excited. Yes, I am. The happiness that I will bring to this party when we get started on Friday. I've got everything and anything organised for the kiddos. I'm just looking forward to it. We've even got the doorbell of destiny. It sounds like a werewolf. Is it a werewolf? Ring the bell and find out. And that's why the kids love coming round here, because they just never know what they're gonna get. Halloween is all for the kids anyway. I've always enjoyed it myself as a child. Ever since I found out what Halloween was all about the age of 5, so 45 years ago, I really fell in love with Halloween, and it's never left me. It just brings the child out in me, which is a good thing, because I don't believe you should ever grow up. Not really. Sure, yeah, you've got to do lots of things that, you have to do in adult world, but never let go of the little kid that's inside of you, because that's the bit that keeps your heart happy and young. No matter where I've been around the world, I've never left that part of me behind. I always brought it with me. The first book I ever learned to read properly was The Rats by James Herbert. And that was me. I knew once I'd read that book, there was no turning back for me. There was no more Enid Blyton after that. Enid Blyton and Beatrix Potter and Winnie the Pooh and anything by Disney was what I was really into as a child. But I couldn't ever read them properly because I had something called dyslexia, and it wasn't picked up on until I went to high school. And I had a wonderful teacher who, sadly, at this time last year, died. And I didn't know. And her name was Mrs. Maudsley, and she was the most wonderful woman in the world. And she taught me to read. And read properly. And count. Because I haven't just got dyslexia, I have dyscalculia, which is the blindness of numbers. Never mind, doesn't matter. My brain over the years has found a way around it. But the first book that I ever learned to read properly anyway was James Herbert's The Rats, and I was flipping sold. It was like, take my money. I am a horror fan and will be for the rest of my days. It played right into the fact that I love Halloween. I love horror. I love anything that's Hammer horror related. Any Universal monsters, you name it. I love it. I can't get enough of the stuff. Science fiction, exactly the same. Star Wars, Star Trek. Absolutely love it. Anything by Arthur C. Clarke. Yep, I'm there. Greg Bear, Bloodworks. Awesome book if you've never read it. All about little creatures that live in your blood and take over your body and make you a more supreme human being. But there's a price to pay. There always is with a Greg Bear book. His characters that can never have it all, there's always a price to pay. A Faustian pact, if you will. Yes, we can alter your blood, we can make you a superhuman being, but you will give your soul over to us. And we will own your soul, said the nano particles that were living in the blood. Great book, anyway. Greg Bear. He recently died, actually. But what a fabulous science fiction writer. He tended to do hard sci-fi, not your soft, squishy stuff. No, this is the stuff that makes you think. I like science fiction that makes you think. And then I have the funny, whimsical, silly side of me that loves zombies. You know? There are many faces to the fairy. Wow, we're doing flying today, everybody. Which is a wonderful thing. Look at us go, eh? Oh, wowzers. Proud? You bet ya. But yeah, when I first learned to read anyway, and I'd read James Herbert's The Rats, I was just like, oh, that was the most brilliant book I'd ever read. And I still, to this day, think it is probably one of the best animal attack books I've ever read. And I've read many. I have read so many books. Some which share the same premise. Everybody seems to have emulated James after he was just so famous, you know, for writing The Rats. It cemented him as the godfather of gore for the United Kingdom, and it was always going through the 80s. It was what was James producing, what was Stephen King producing, and those two were the absolute titans. I mean, yeah, you'd got your John Saul, he was there in the background, and you had Dean Koontz, and he had his platform as well, you know, and we had John Halkin over here, and he was writing Slither and Squelch and Slimer, you know, and Richard Lewis was doing the Spiders, and you know, it was just such a mash pot of so many wonderful authors and trailblazers like James and Stephen, sort of like gave everybody the shot in the arm that they needed. And dare I say that the one thing I love about 1970s, 1980s pulp fiction that we went through, and it was a golden age. It wasn't just the stories in the book, it was the covers on the outside. You know, you got Sean Hudson. He was Splatterpunk Incorporated. Without him, we'd have never have had the Slugs. Yes, a lot of people think it's poorly written, but it isn't really. It reads more like a film script than it does an actual book. But if you look beyond that and really get your head into Sean Hudson, the guy's a genius, right? He knew what would sell. Gump, splatter, and all the gore that you could possibly shove in a book. Sean did. He was like the American version of Sean Hudson, Richard Lehman, right? I know Richard's work would make a lot of people today feel very, oh my goodness, did he really write that? Maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable, as some people who have not grown up in that era might look at Sean's work and think, blimey, that makes me feel a little odd. You sure you can get away with writing about that in books? But you need to look at the time that it was written, and you need to appreciate it for what it is, which is splatterpunk. right? If you have a weak stomach and maybe an overactive imagination, perhaps his books are not for you. They are for me. I love them. I love Sean, right? I think Sean is wonderful. But he's a more extreme version of James Herbert, as Richard Lehman is a more extreme version of Stephen King. You know, these books are meant to challenge the way that you perceive horror. And yes, they are frightening. They're meant to be. They're in the horror section, in the 18 section, labelled not for kids. But there I was, 15-year-old me. I'm going to read these books. In fact, I was a lot younger. I was a lot younger. And there I am, devouring James Herbert, Stephen King, Sean Hudson, Richard Lehman, and everybody else, John Saul. I was just gobbling these books up for fun. You see, this is what happens when you teach somebody to read. There's no stopping them. And I just could not get enough of these books. But what attracted me to them? Not only did they have a fabulous storyline and scared the bejesus out of you, the artwork. The artwork on the cover of these books was phenomenal. There isn't books like it now. And that's why horror is having a few problems. Brilliant books out there, fabulous stories, but your book covers are just not good. Honestly, take it from someone who purchases books, enjoys books, lives for books. I adore horror in every shape and form. I love to read. I love watching a horror movie. I like things that are genuinely scary and have proper special effects, not CGI. If I'm going to watch a horror movie like American Werewolf in London, let's talk about that one, right? That wasn't CGI. That was genuine special effects, right? That werewolf transformation is probably one of the best ones I've seen since The Howling. But it works because they decided that they weren't going to do it with a computer, because back then you couldn't. You wanted special effects. You had to make it happen, right? And that is what's missing in today's movies. We've got lazy. We just plug it into a computer and it comes out and it's done, right? It didn't take a lot of brain thought. It's done, created, bang, in a film, out the door. And it's like all the other films. Okay, they're all the same. They're just generic. You look at one, you think you've seen them all. But if you can go back in time to the 1980s and see what we were producing then, and the 70s and the 60s, and all the way back to the 1920s, right? We were really there in the movies, creating these wonderful worlds with our imagination and what we had on hand to create the special effects. You know, the zombies, take for instance, the zombies that we had in Night of the Living Dead from 1968 by George Romero, right? Versus what we've got today. They are superior in every way because it was special effect makeup painted and prosthetically placed upon the actors that were behaving like the zombies, right? Zombies shouldn't run for a start, right? They should not run. They should walk around and stagger and have superhuman strength to throw you around and go, oh, right? They should not be looking as though they're competing with Linford Christie, going for gold at the next Olympics. You know, it's a rage virus if they're running like they've just seen an all-you-can-eat at the local Dunkin' Donut shop. No, George Romero had it right. They were supposed to be mentally impaired, confused, dead, staggering around. Rigor mortis was settling in. The joints were a bit like that. You know, you're not supposed to be running like that. You're supposed to be staggering around. You know, bearing in mind some of you have been in the ground for a very long time. And they're in various states of decomposing. I mean, there's one that we missed out. The decomposing composers. There we are. So, just because we've gone forwards and we've got all this technology at our fingertips, we've got lazy. We don't even write books anymore. We just put prompts into a computer and AI prints out a book. You slap your name on it, you put a generic book cover on, and Bob's your uncle, you've sold. You've sold another book. Oh wow, but did it come from the heart? Did that story come from the heart? Did it have genuine picture, proper, scary as anything book cover on that makes you look at it on the drugstore shelf where you bought most of these, or in airports from WH Smith's in the United Kingdom? We would have bought them from there, or whatever bookstore we happen to have. You know, or even in supermarkets, you'd have like your selection of books at the end, and they were like 85p to buy one of these books, one of these bloodlust, scary as anything, absolutely wonderful books. And do you know these 85p books now are in the region of £50 to £100? Just saying. Haven't they retained their value and gone up a little bit? Many of my book collection upstairs, of which I have quite a lot of 85p books at the time, that are now worth between £50 and £100. And why are they so expensive? Because they're getting harder and harder to get hold of in very good condition. I know. And there's a renaissance going through, a resurgence of my generation wanting to go back in time to when they were kids, when they were reading these books, and a few of the next generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, that are suddenly picking these books up and realizing that actually they're not half bad. And yeah, we'd quite like to read them. Oh, did your phone go? Oh, Roast, I'm so sorry. I've just been talking about 1980s, 1970s literature, artwork, movies, and I'm just saying how back in the day we made proper effects. We wrote decent stories. We had proper scary artwork on the book covers. And I just think that we've got lazy as we've gone forwards with technology. We don't do special effects anymore with any worth. Everything's CGI, which is a bit boring. And once you've seen one, it's generic. You've seen it in all. I mean, take for instance John Carpenter's The Thing, right? The one where they're all in the medical bay, and that guy, one of the workers up there, has had a heart attack, and he's got the paddles on his chest, and his chest rips open, and it's got those teeth, and the guy's there with the paddles, and he puts his hands down to and he's like, what the hell? And the jaws clamp shut and rip his arms off, and next minute you're looking at him and he's like blood spurting out of his. I mean, it'd be so easy to do that with CGI, right? And it wouldn't look right. But that, back then, you know, wow. John Carpenter, genius. Not only could he produce the music, the storyline, do the special effects. So the man was a one-stop shop. And I still have nightmares about John Carpenter's The Thing. If you've seen it, right, and you know, if you know, you know, right, the scene with the Huskies, I still have nightmares about it. I cannot sit and watch that film without wanting to cry. You know, I watched it way too young. I saw The Thing, I think I was about 10 years old. I was either 9 or 10. And it was one of those films that I know I saw way too young. And I mean, I'm just thinking back to my childhood, and I did loads of stuff that perhaps I shouldn't have done, but was really, really young. And my mum and dad, they just didn't care. You know, they just weren't interested, really. You know, that I'd watch whatever I wanted because they didn't know half the time what I was watching. And I was absolutely petrified. And I'm thinking about it now. Even now, I'm like, I can't believe I sat through and watched that film. It's so terrifying. Yeah, exactly. The husky scene. It's notorious in film law of our age group, right? We've all seen it. We all know the one. How spaghetti. No. It was enough to make you cry. I like those dogs. It was awful. You know, but John Carpenter knew what he was doing. And here's a bit of movie trivia for you. Halloween. The night Michael Myers came home. The film that the kids are watching while all the slayings are going on over the road, they happen to be watching Who Goes There, or The Thing from Outer Space in black and white on the television. So there you go. That's what links the universes together. And the big centipede that crawled through the ceiling. Yeah, no. I bet no wonder McCready went bonkers and burned everything to the ground. He must have been running around going, unclean, burn it all to hell. Oh yeah. Absolutely awful. And I mean, there was no way that anyone could have survived. Or did they? Is The Thing just lying dormant, waiting and watching? Ooh. Well, you'll never sleep again now, kiddies. Did they die? Did the monster die? I didn't see any evidence that it did. It might still be out there, children, waiting. Right, that's it. None of you are ever going to sleep again now. Ha ha. There were loads of films that I shouldn't have watched when I was a child. Deliverance was one of them. Dueling Banjos. Windows was legend. Hang on, have I read that right? Windows was legend. Oh, Windows. Oh, I'm so sorry. Right, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Done, right. That was awful how he went. Imagine all being tied up, sat on a flipping sofa, while McCready's checking your blood to see whether or not it reacts to metal, right? And suddenly, yeah, that scene with the sofa. Oh, wow. Legendary. If I could put clips in the live, I flipping would. That scene where they're all on the flipping sofa and they're all screaming and trying to untie themselves from each other. They didn't stand a bloody chance, did they? It's all like they've been forced into a work-related incident, right? Where they all have to sit down and air the grievances, right? But whilst being tied to a sofa in the staff common room, while one of the members of staff is going berserk, and they know that they're all gonna flipping die. Oh my god. Oh lordy. You can just imagine it in a work-related incident file. There have been no thing reports in this company for, and it writes 0 days. There we go. First customer done, everyone. Well done, us. Pop these up here because I won't need those now for the rest of the day. Empty bag. Right, I've just got to remember to turn on the printer, because without the printer, we don't get an invoice. Yeah, you just imagine it, can't you? You know, you're all sat and you're all got a grievance, a work grievance with a member of staff. You're all tied to a bloody sofa, right? McCready's checking everybody's blood with a scratchy piece of hot wire, and then suddenly the one that you're all, you know, actually bitching about and complaining about just goes absolutely nuts, and you're all trying to untie yourselves. Work-related incidents, 0 days since we've had a thing incident. Oh yeah, joy. Awful, absolutely awful. I don't know. Now, where's my list? My list of things to do. Where is my list? In my hand. Okay, next one. Okay, let's see how many were up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Okay. I'm just going to have to concentrate just for a second. Because if I don't, I'm going to make an absolute poo of it. They're awful. You know, you get to my age and you're absolutely scratching your brain, desperate to try and get my brain means well, just sometimes it goes for a wander, and that's never a good thing. At least I don't think it's a good thing. Oh, come on, you. Move you up there. Right, what day is it today, everybody? It's a Monday. It is the 27th of October, 2025. And where am I going tonight? Who knows? It's an adventure. She doesn't know where she's going. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. All right. Off we go. This way. Snack time. Okay, we want anything that may have a collar. 1 and 2. 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, that's the first bag. Done. Happy as. We're done. Back in a moment. All right. I wonder why that was. You have a power cut. With you all in the middle. Just got some stuff to do. Washer is on, dryer is on. I am back. Shoving things into body bags, kids. Awesome. Oh, that was a really cool TV show. Well, actually, it was a movie from the 80s called Body Bags. Tales from the Dark Side, anyone? Remember body bags? John Carpenter at his finest with Tobe Hooper and Richard Matheson and Stephen King. There's a bunch of titans, if ever I heard them all in one long sentence. Where did you go? I've buried you, haven't I? Awesomeness starts with you, fairy. Getting everything done on time and under budget. The time is 12:05. The Montague has been fed. There we go. Cracking. Wonderful. Sorted. We're through it. Okay, what we're going to do is back up now this system. And while that's doing that, I am here. Yay, I am. Aren't you all just so happy that I'm back in the room? I'm just going to leave those in there because leave those there. Who sends a trench coat to get ironed? Somebody did. Right, we're just going to leave you lot on there. I can reach for you as and when I need to. I found the hangers. Hangers of destiny. Here we go, baby. Shake your money maker. I was just telling everybody, Space Note, that this is the final week of our Halloween extravaganza. And boy, oh boy, we've saved the best till last, did we not? Oh, I'm really glad your phone's back up and running. That's awesome. Was it a power cut or something? The Montague is in and fed. Snack time. I'll bet it was a Dexter-related incident. You know, I've just been talking about the thing, right? And I'm just saying that they were having a work-related incident department in the staff room where they were all tied to a chair, you know, to the same sofa. And they were finding out who was the alien. And then the alien decides to go berserk and kill everybody on the sofa. And you can just imagine something flashes up in the movie and it says work-related incidents, 0 days since a thing happened. Can you do one for you and Dexter? Dexter-related work incidents, 0 days since Dexter chewed a wire. My Monty's just come in because I don't think he's enjoying outdoors as much today. It's cold, it's wet. I think he's feeling very miserable. So I've let him in. It is stormy today. So I've let him in, he's had some biscuits, and I think he's going to take himself and all 4 of his muddy paws, and he's going to go upstairs and jump all over my cream bed. And leave paw prints everywhere. I couldn't do without him though. How's Mrs. Space Note? And little Space Nuts? They're as good as to be expected. Well, that's wonderful. That's a good sign. Okie dokie. Here we go. Lots to do. Foxy. My name is Foxy Cleopatra, coming at you, wearing my leopard print pants. Well, you know me. I take a kicking, but I keep coming back. I'm a glutton for punishment. I keep saying to everybody that's on here, I hope you've enjoyed the movie that we put out Saturday night. Halloween is this week. Woo! Get your dancing shoes on. We have some wonderful things coming your way this week. Spookified. Did you manage to fix your computer? Have you got your soundy bit in? It's very quiet here at Fairy Castle today. I hope things improve this afternoon. Apart from you and Rust, there hasn't been anyone else on. So it's still not back up and running right. I see. Oh dear. That doesn't sound so good, does it? No, so I'll have to replace it next month with something more capable. Oh dear. I am so sorry. Oh heck. Well, I know we're not in an AI background place today, everybody. We are just in my office in Fairy Castle. And that's because green screen on the system. For some reason it doesn't like it today. So I just thought we'd go au naturel and you could see me in my actual room for a change. It's incredibly quiet though, Space Nut. Our usual frequent flyers have flown. Once I finish this edit. I'm done. Oh my God, I'll transfer. We can run. I'm sorry. Me and my brain today wish that we could do English, but are doing something called English, which is not. My brain ain't reading right. I don't know what it is with me. I will try and read what you've written again. Pardon. Oh, right, got you. Me understand now, Mr. Faulty. I'm so sorry. I learned it from a book. Is that an right? Oh. Oh, that's fancy. I know nothing, me. I learn everything from a book. Oh my goodness me, Fawlty Towers. Peak comedy, 1970s. Tell me, right, you've all met somebody like Basil Fawlty in your lives. You have. You must have, right? He's the generic person. I just love Basil Fawlty. I think Manuel is an absolute delight. And Polly, can you imagine? Oh my goodness. Fawlty, what's wrong with him? I love what's his name? His name is Basil. He's a hamster. He's not a hamster, he's a rat. He is not a rat, he is my hamster. Manuel. Oh. Absolutely peak comedy. Unfortunately, my children don't get it. They don't understand Steptoe and Son. They don't get anything of Around the Horn with Ken Horn on the radio show. They don't understand the Goons. They don't get Spike Milligan at all. It might be a generational thing, I don't know, but for me, it was funny. They don't even get Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther, which for me is comedy gold. But I think it's a generational thing. For me, it's funny. For them, not so much. They don't even like Benny Hill. Well, I have tried. They keep coming back. But it's stuff that I've grown up with that I found quite humorous. But then this generation, no, they're offended by everything. Everything offends them. I mean, they don't even like Morecambe and Wise because to them it's boring. The movies that I've grown up with, when they were little, they loved Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal, Neverending Story, Goonies, all of those. But growing up where they are now, no. It's 1980s. And although they love the 1980s aesthetic, the look, they don't like the movies, the humour, the comedy, the literature, the music. Okay, fine, so you don't like really what I produced in my generation. I get that. You've got your own time, your own music. But I'll tell you something, kids. I know I might sound a bit biased, but back in my day, at least things felt real. Oh yeah, I have run out with. I'm tired. You know what you're looking at here? I am burned out. I am exhausted. I am so tired of walking on eggshells and making sure I do not offend. I am tired. Yeah. We ought to get them to have a round with the thing and see who comes out on top. I guarantee it won't be that. Peter Cook and Dudley Moore. What a dream team those two were. So who's going to be making your nice new shiny button then? That I honestly thought the one that you got was capable of doing everything that you wanted, but clearly you need something slightly more custom built. Because, well, if you want it to do a specific task and you know what it is that you want it to do, then in another way, then you know you need to perhaps create with another button provider what you need it to do. And this time, darling Dexter, don't crawl on it, otherwise you will be feeling Stein's monster. Ah, I see what you mean. Getting what you want comes with a hefty price tag. I understand. You know, I did come up with an idea for you. Do you remember when our children were tiny and we used to put something around the fireplace and call it a fire guard, right? You know, one of those, like, so they couldn't get near the fireplace when they were crawling and clambering and doing everything. Is there a way you could create something like a fire guard, like a force field fire guard around your computer and rig system that like repels Dexter and makes sure that he doesn't climb on anything? All right, so at least you know which one that you're going to get. Well, that's good. At least there is something out there, because I know you told me that it was so unique, this piece of equipment, that it would be very difficult to replace it, because the company that made it for you went bust, which is a shame, especially as it's so key to your computer. Oh, come on, you. Here. Come on. In you go. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. No, no, no. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You could get a dog. It'll have to be like that dog from Wallace and Gromit, A Close Shave. You know, the one that is like a robot. What did they call him? Were it Spike? Half past 12, everyone, and we're doing really well. I don't think Dexter would like a dog. I think that might make him cry. And he's already keeping you awake at night, yowling at you. Did he happen to watch any of the movie on Saturday night? Because that might have given him nightmares. You do make me laugh. I noticed that Montague's not come downstairs, so I reckon, like I said, he's gone upstairs and he's rolling round on my flipping bed. I'll bet anything he's curled up in the centre of it. There we go. It's Lycra. Every time I go anywhere near it with the iron, it crawls on the ironing board and it won't keep still. So it looks as though your laundry's possessed because it's the heat. Lycra and heat don't like each other. Fun fact. Trying to get something to lie still when it's Lycra on a very warm ironing board. Good luck with that one. Don't go in that bag. Do not go in that bag. Even though you want to go in that bag, do not go in that bag. I keep telling my brain this, and my brain goes, okay. And then lift music starts playing. I don't want to go back in that bag. Naughty, naughty, naughty. We're doing well though. We're coping. Oh my goodness, have we been going for 106 minutes? Wow, well done us. Oh, dearie me. I'm afraid this is twisted in the dryer, maybe washer, not sure. Might have been washed at a very high temperature. Oh, that's much better. Oh, I did it. I went to that pile. Yay! Get me! Brain's getting it. Yes, I am. Oh, my husband happens to be a massive Spike Milligan fan. And in turn, that's made me appreciate his humour. Lovely, lovely sense of humour that guy had. But he had his demons. He had quite a lot of problems, didn't he, Spike? But no one can say that he wasn't a good dad. You stole a good quote from Spike. You did. see, I told you I was ill. I told you I feel unwell. Yeah, that has to go on your gravestone. Don't worry, dear. If I'm the one that's around and you've gone, I'll make sure it happens. Yeah, but it's through my husband that I started listening to the Goon Show. Oh, there we are. Sorry, we lost the internet then for a second. Yeah, it was thanks to my husband listening to the Goon Show, and I'd never heard of them. I did not know anything about them, and I started to really appreciate the humour. And yeah, I suppose it's a little bit dated, but it's still really funny. And a lot of the Radio 4 Extra stuff that my husband, God bless him, he listens to it, and I thoroughly enjoy listening now to the Goon Show as well. Love it, in fact. Oh, and if you ever do manage to, on Radio 4 Extra, The Seventh Dimension, wowee, do you get some scary radio plays, usually about half an hour long. Oh my goodness, so worth listening to. The Price of Fear by Vincent Price, wonderful. The Man in Black by Edward D'Souza, absolutely peak radio. If you wanted something a little bit different when you're out traveling, listen to The Seventh Dimension. Guaranteed to get a scary tale or two on there. And this week they're being in overdrive because obviously it's Halloween on Friday. But this week, my loves, we have got Dean Koontz, The Black Pumpkin. From, I'll give you the year, 1986. Woo! In 1986, I was 10 years old. There. Awesome. Ginormous joggers. These are roomy, comfortable pants. 3 years afterwards, I was born. Yeah. I thought you'd be alive when Spike was alive. No? Gosh, no, I grew up with Spike. You know, at various points in my life, he was there. $1989. Oh, right. You're not as old as me, are you, love? Gosh, no. So, yeah, 1986, I was 10. And you weren't even on the planet. Whoa. You mean you want, yeah, you're not even 40. Whew. There we go. Another one. Oh, come on. This is enough to make you want to cry. Boil washed, dried to within an inch of their lives, with all their buttons connected, and then you wonder why you can't get a decent finish. Yes, but this week we got something called the Black Pumpkin by Dean Koontz. Be careful what you wish for, children, because you might just get it. California, a parking lot, a pumpkin seller. He will take what you think it's worth. But what are you actually buying, my darlings? And what exactly is it that you've sold? Tune in on Friday night at 9 o'clock and listen to the Black Pumpkin and find out just what's happening in that parking lot. You'll never sleep with both eyes shut ever again. It's one of my personal favorites. It is brilliantly written, very tongue-in-cheek. Dean Koontz at his finest. Absolutely, utterly terrifying, children. You're going to love it. Yes, your dead time story at 9:30 on Friday night. Don't forget to tune in and listen and scream. Yeah, I love me a scary story. I love me something Halloween and spooky. And I like short stories. And do you know why I like short stories? Because they have to be clever and quick and pack everything that a long story will have in just a few short pages. It's absolutely terrifying. It grips you by your soul. It will leave you not being able to sleep, my dears. And that's what we wanted, right? I think they enjoyed The Night of the Storm from 1974 by Dean Koontz. Are humans real? One robot seems to think so. But can he prove to his other robot friends that he's real? Hello, GT Gaming. How are you this afternoon? Are you enjoying your holiday? I do hope so. Thank you very much for tuning in on Saturday night. I'm really glad you enjoyed the film. Just try not to burn my fingers off, kids. Okay, that will lay flat. Like that. There, we have done it all, sorted it out. Happy, 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 that is what we do. Yay! Come on, lay flat. I wasn't asking. Okay, good, nice finish that. 2 hours, goodness. Okay, the time is 10 to 1. I'm always pleased when I can get this right. Shirts are sometimes difficult, especially when they've been over dried. A bit of a nightmare. Oh, come on you. Come. There. Better. Trousers after this for a bit, I think, and then maybe some more shirts. And I'm just listening out for the dryer and the washer to tell me when they're done so I can go and swap them. Tell you, never a dull moment in this house. We know how to rock and roll, kids. We really do. think it's gone very dark out there, so I'm wondering, are we in the middle of a rainstorm? Most probably. Well, it's going to be a big week for our writer, Alan Aspinall, and his ghost tour. I know. Are you excited about the ghost tour, the Fading Light? I am. I wish, Alan, I could be with you this week. Sadly, it's not possible this year for Halloween, but I am going to make the effort to get to you for Halloween next year. With it being on a Saturday night, God willing, my love, I'll be with you and we can go on a ghost tour together. Will I turn up with fake glasses, a fake nose and a moustache? Most probably will. But we will be there with bells on because we want to be on next year, right? Next year. We can't do it this year, sadly, everybody. But next year, definitely gonna do the Fading Light Ghost Tour. And it won't just be myself that's turning up. No. There'll be someone else with me as well. Oh yeah. Maybe more than someone else. Maybe there'll be a group of us that turn up. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Another space note. Alan will not be able to do the tour because he'll be too busy laughing. It'll be just our luck, actually, that we'll be on the ghost tour and the zombie apocalypse will break out. So that fake radio show that we were going to do, we just might make it real. In more ways than one. Goodness. $200 subs with 267 hours. GT Gaming, that's amazing. Well done. How did you do with your Halloween special? Was that a good one for you? I thought it was very good. Very tastefully done. And very well put together. I enjoyed it. Gosh, trying to get creases out of this. Not easy. I'll do it. I'm a determined kind of girl. I'm just gone quiet because I was trying to concentrate to make sure that it actually happened. Sorry if I just seem to be a bit distracted, everybody. It's a very delicate material. This is a very thin cotton, and I just have to make sure that I don't accidentally burn a hole. I don't think the customer will be very happy with me. Right, if you ever wondered what I did all day, this, ironing. This is what I do. Does it make me happy? Yeah, it does actually. YouTube said that I have more subscriptions than subscribers. Just be patient, GT. It doesn't come all at once, and it's rightly so that it shouldn't. You need to build up, and you just need to have a lot of patience. Normally, it takes between 2 to 5 years to establish a business, right? And remember, I'm 2 years in, and I'm still establishing myself. It doesn't happen overnight, and for those that it does happen to, they're very rare indeed. And they're not doing such niche subjects as what you and I are doing. Therefore, that's why it's taking us longer. You just need to be patient. And when you see an opportunity, go for it. Remember what I said about writing a business plan? You need to be flexible. You need to ensure that you're writing with pencil and paper and you have an eraser. That way then you can rub something out and put something else in its place in your plan. This is the one thing they don't teach you when they teach you business studies. It's always puzzled me why anybody thinks that they can learn how to run a business from doing business studies and running a business class. Yes, you can gain and attain all the information and knowledge that can help you to legally run a business. But unless you're actually out there doing it, you're not experiencing it, and therefore you've nothing to build on from it. To run a business, to know how a business works, you cannot learn it from a book. You have to go out and do. It's like being a midwife, right? You got first stage training in the classroom. Second stage, you're out helping someone to deliver a baby. Third stage is delivering your own. Birthing plans are like business plans. You can write down what you want, but you're not necessarily going to get it. You can sell courses on YouTube as of a few weeks ago, you could consider a small biz course. Yeah. My advice is free for everyone that would like to listen to it. You can't teach business. You're either got it or you ain't. It's one of those innate things. It's like learning to breathe underwater. An interesting concept. I'd feel guilty as well if I sold my business expertise on a course and it didn't work out for that person. You know, I'd feel really bad. One, everybody. Feel like the town crier. 3 minutes past 1 and all is well. We have not had a zombie apocalypse yet, but I'm working on it. Done. Yay! I wanna iron forever. I'm gonna make me a star. Remember my name, Fairy. Naughty, not that bag. Nearly did it again. Nutty, nutty. My favorite song though is I'm your private ironer, and ironing for money, and any old money will do. I think that could be the washing machine telling me it's had enough and not to darken its doors with any more smalls. Top tip, everybody, when you're doing trousers or shorts that have pockets in, iron the pocket flat first, then hook onto the end of the ironing board like so. And when you iron flat, you're not going to get wrinkles in your crinkles, because nobody wants a crinkly wrinkly. And you get a much better flat finish. I'm just saying. Everything is going to come up roses. There we are, nice and flat, and a beautiful finish. Just one more leg to do. That sounded rather strange then. Hop on my board. Let me iron your legs. Yeah. Oh dear, I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, hang on. Joggers. Again, back pockets. These ones are a bit thicker, so we need to make sure that they lay down and very flat. I think we might have some bedding in the bag as well, which would be very useful. And as usual, Hugo Boss. Not the biggest fan of Boss clothing. I'm also not a fan of Ralph Lauren either, or Ted Baker, Fat Face, or Charles Tyrwhitt shirts. Just not a fan. I begrudge paying a lot of money for very cheap material. I have a big problem with people charging a lot of money for shirts and trousers because it's got a label on it. And the material that they've used is, for me, very much substandard. If you're going to do it, and this is an absolute top tip when it comes to buying quality linen, cottons, anything that's in a shirt, trousers, t-shirt, anything like that, put it in the palm of your hand and crunch the material and then let it go and see what crease pattern you have in the material. Now, a good material will spring back, right? But a cheap material will stay crumpled and won't drop it. And that is a good way to know if you're buying a decent shirt or a suit, you know, something along those lines. Naturally, if you're going to be using very natural materials like silk, you can't put silk in a washing machine. You break the fibers and the bonds that hold that material together. Silk bonds in the material are so short and small that they snap. You can't expose it to heat. When it comes to cleaning silk, you have to spot clean it, and it has to be done with dry chemicals, which is of course why it says on the label dry clean only. Yeah, dry cleaning only for silk and satin, of course. And when you're ironing, you don't actually physically put an iron to the material without using a guard cloth, right? Or sometimes you put the outfit on a mannequin, and the mannequin will spin round in a steam generated machine, and the steam will permeate the material without it ever actually anything touching the material. It's very clever how they do it. But also, when you are dealing with dry cleaning chemicals, you have to not be in the same room as the dry cleaning chemicals. You just let the machines do what they need to do. Don't breathe this stuff in. It's a carcinogenic for a reason. I know it cleans your clothing, but it can kill you. It'll send you a clean route then. Oh, sounds like my washing machine's getting to the end of its cycle. Wingtips. It's an evening shirt, right? Fold it, snap it down, get the collar, make sure your board's warm, and then quickly, perfect finish every time. We'll do it again. Bend, lay flat, warmed board, quickly, perfect finish. Just in case you ever need to do a wingtip on an evening shirt. I'm full of useless information. I really am. There we are. Absolutely fabulous. Also, don't rush this bit, right? You are doing around the buttons and you are doing over ruffles. Now, ruffles can only go one way, but they are naughty and sometimes they try to go the other. You can ruin a very nice shirt just by being too quick. Patience. Slow is better than fast. Do the line first. The line is where the buttonholes are, right? Section it out. Do not feel that you have to go at this like a bull at a gate. You want the perfect finish. You want a happy ending. A slow hand. There. Wonderful. If you've never ironed an evening shirt before, let this be your tutorial. Evening shirts are not like a normal shirt. The material is a lot thinner, and it has a strange weave to it. It makes the cotton feel silky soft. It's a different shade of white. It's almost a bone white rather than a china white. And it goes with the bleaching process. And the reason why that is not one that you'd realise. Evening shirts are usually worn at dinner parties. The way that they are bleached, they have like a finish running through them, which means should you get red wine, port, gravy, some kind of horrible food related thing fly down your shirt, you're more likely to get it out with a stain remover due to the way that it was bleached when it was created. You see, a lot of thought has gone in to an evening shirt. The cut, the design, the material it's made out of, how they bleached it, what's it going to be like when it's being washed, can it be stain resistant? You see, to some people it's just an evening shirt, but to the fashion designer and the person that has to clean it afterwards, these are all considerations that need to be thought about. I bet you didn't realise that. And that's just a shirt. So there you go, kids. You learned something new today. I should be on how it's made. And when you get to do the cuffs at the end, the roll, you need to roll it. There has to be no line. Otherwise, you can't get it to sit right and your cuff links will never go correctly. So there, see, you learn something new every day. And I hope you learned something today from me. And you can have that for free. Just in case you were ever wanting to set up and become an ironing fairy or ironing anything. You have to know how to iron stuff. It's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And they also take a little bit longer than an ordinary shirt. An ordinary shirt should take you no more than 5 minutes. One of these will take you 10. Because they are different. There we go. Always make sure you get round the armpit. Is the last bit that you'll do on the shirt. And that's because you've laid the sleeve flat. And you don't want that crease to be there. Perfection. You want your wingtips to be just so when you get your dicky bow on, it's perfection. That's what we're going for. I am a happy lady. I like how that has finished. I'm looking round to see if there are any unexplained creases. There are not. Done. Wrong bag. Yeah. Okay, we have got t-shirt, 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 one more shirt. I'll do this shirt first, but for now I'll just switch that machine off and go and change the washing. everything would be useful if you would stay up. Oh, ever get a woman in your life yelling at you that you can never stay up? Oh, well, that's me with the iron. There. Better. Much better. It's the better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are on to item 13. Do excuse me. My feet are starting to want to leave my body. I need my slippers. That's nice. My floofies. I got my floofy slippers on. Oh, excuse me. It's definitely raining outside now. I can hear it on the door. Right, as it's gone very, 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 very quiet, I shall take my leave of you all and I will come back in a little bit. Bye-bye.